given that you were getting scripts one at a time, what was it like with both you and Hamish being on the show? Did you have a situation where you guys couldn't talk about it because your character had no idea what his was going through?
That's such a great question. I think before we were shooting, I had read quite a few more, but definitely there were scripts that we were getting while we were shooting, but we were in such lockstep with Harriet that, I was never turning the page and like, what? That it was, but I think the truth is we knew, so I can say now, this is spoiler
Yeah,
time.
go for it.
We knew we would end up getting to be together. We just didn't know exactly when. And we love, I love acting with him so much. And so I just couldn't wait to get to the script where I was going to turn the page and see that we were finally together. No matter how brutal the circumstances might be, because, that's the show we were making. And when it makes me have that feeling of terror about, doing something, that usually makes me feel also very excited to do it. I don't sort of feel that I'm drawn towards being particularly comfortable. Not to say I don't love, I don't love doing shows where good things are happening to people, but because I love that too. But I if you're gonna get out of bed and leave your kids, and I want it to feel challenging and like unlike anything I've done before. And so, yeah, I know I'm not really answering your question, but we would talk, and we also would, I think we were, without saying, let's have a lot of boundaries about this. There were things that we didn't talk about. I think we just had, we've worked together so many times that there is a kind of dialogue that we have that is very different than, in the way we are as a couple or as co-parents. And we can be quite boundaried when we know that it will serve the work and not overshare, and withhold quite a bit. And so, we weren't like coming to set to see what the other person was doing leading up, or who, so that we did kind of meet these characters as they would have met. It wasn't like we weren't running lines with one another in the way that we might have if one of us was working and the other one wasn't. So there was a bit of, we were kind of keeping character secrets from one another.
I love that you guys could share that passion together, though. That's so cool to me. I got two more spoiler questions for you. I don't know if this is something you had the heads up on earlier or you discovered it in the scripts as you read along, but what was your reaction to the big reveal of what Theresa really did? Did it kind of, was there a before and after in terms of how you viewed Karen after getting that information?
Listen, the thing about Karen to me that I love is that she is wide open, and she is someone who sees the good in people. And I think we so often, when people are trusting of others, we like to say that they're overly trusting, or that they're in some ways, that there's a lack of intelligence in being trusting, that being trusting means you're gullible. I just wholeheartedly disagree. I think it's such a beautiful thing to innately believe that people are good, and to sort of lead with love. And that's who she is. That's how she ends up in a lot of these relationships and in the situation she does. So I never judged her for a second. I never thought, oh, how could you not have, it was such a painful pleasure to get to play someone who is so guileless in that way, and so optimistic about people, which is so completely on the opposite side of the spectrum from where Emma ends up in terms of being afraid of everyone, really, and trusting no one, including herself.